SIAM, CarToq and other industry players came together at the Auto Expo 2014 to highlight the perils of spurious parts in vehicles. We spoke to some industry leaders about this menace. Here is what they said.
Whenever these vehicles are designed per se, a lot of research goes into the design of these parts, individual parts, and number of engineers have to work many times for years together to come out with a part which would be compatible with respect to that vehicle and is designed to give the optimum performance. What happens is that when these vehicles are operating on the road, subsequently natural wear and tear takes place and regular service is required to be done. So some of the parts have to be replaced at some fixed periodicity, while some of the parts have to be replaced in case the vehicle meets with an accident. Now in both the cases it is very important that the parts which are fitted are genuine parts. Now fake parts are generally look-alike parts. However, there may be compromise in terms of the design because naturally those people cannot replicate the exact design of that component. Then there would be a big compromise on the quality of the material which is being used for manufacturing of those parts, and the entire technology involved towards manufacturing of those parts again cannot be replicated by those fake manufacturers. A simple item like bumper, a lot of testing goes on when the OEM manufactures it, designs it, because it is an energy absorbing element of the vehicle in case of a frontal impact. So even other panels which are fitted, they may look to be simple sheet metal parts, but the kind of reinforcement which have to be used, the kind of section thickness that has to be used, it gives a certain level of safety to the passengers in case of a crash. All these considerations are totally absent in case of say fake parts. There are customers who after a certain period stray away from the dealers. They go to small roadside workshops or say Maruti authorized service stations, and also to very, very small roadside mechanics also for their running repairs. Now we are ensuring that we have a parallel channel of distribution of parts to these customers. This is done through our distributor network, and today we have more than 80 distributors with 540 touch points to the customer. Whenever a model is discontinued, we are committed to supply the spare parts for at least 10 years after the model is discontinued. And in case there is any problem, we have our website and customers can log their inquiry there, and it is immediately attended.
Support the SIAM activity to promote some genuine parts sales. And the genuine parts is very important to make the vehicle performance, and also it's very important to have the long product line.
We want to make sure that we don't profiteer from spare parts, because sometimes there's a view that companies make a lot of money from spare parts, but actually that's not in our case. I think sometimes the technology is changing so rapidly. If you look at BS3 and BS4, there's a lot of electronics, and the know-how sitting in each of these components is fairly high. You can't really make them very cheap, but we do try to make sure that the pricing is competitive and not allowing an industry to sprout just because our prices are expensive. As automotive, we are vigilant about it. The moment we hear something of a particular location or a particular area where counterfeit is coming, we try to follow that. We try to create some circumstances around it where they are moved out, or even raids are conducted from time to time, so that, because I think one of the problems in counterfeit is people don't bother about it and just let it flourish, saying in a country like India this is always going to be there. That's a very wrong attitude to take. but then the problem will be bigger and bigger. By doing some of these things, we can actually contain the problem. Besides that, one of the advantages of Tata is we've been around for 50, 60 years. So besides our authorized dealer and service centers, we pride ourselves in the fact that our training, our drawings are available to even the independent service stations, not the franchise ones.
Okay.
And we make parts and part diagrams available to them. But the problem there is people who are unscrupulous and they start using these parts, they can sort of compromise on it. So we keep a close track, and wherever we find that either our agents or otherwise are using these people, we suspend them, we don't give them the parts, we ask them to remove our authorized boards. So I think this is something which we have to keep going all the time. I don't think the problem will go away, but the least we can do is to keep pushing it.
As far as the case is concerned, I think the committee and the manufacturers themselves have taken a big call that we will make spares available freely and distribute them very deeply in the country. Players like Tata Motors, Maruti, Hyundai, these are the players who have big distribution networks, and they have taken large strides in making spares available across the nook and cranny of the country.